What's going on, YouTube? So I'm not gonna make this video too long, but um, I just want to tell everybody, and for some reason this may offend people. Um, there may be people who are interested or wanting to know more about what I am about to say, or my decision, or this or that, and then we get a mix of anything in between. But I want to tell the world that I am never going back to the United States of America. I left August 2nd of 2025, and on everything that I can control, because I'm not God, and I can't think in absolutes. However, on anything that I can't control, I will never go back to the United States of America. August 2nd, 2025 would be my last day I ever step back into the land of the free and the home of the brave. If this is your first time seeing Black, hit the sub button, leave a like, drop a comment. I don't talk to sugarcoat. I don't talk to make friends. I'm just talking my piece. This is a platform to talk my piece. However, I do talk in experience. I do talk in passion. And my experience is based around facts. Right? This is not just opinions. But this is my perspective on the way my life has been going, my friends and family's life has been going, and the life that I see around me, being an American citizen. I have been out of the States for just over 10 months, and I don't see myself going back. And I'll give you guys a couple of reasons why. First of all, it's cost of living. We work too much, we work too hard. We make decent money, especially compared to a lot of places outside the States. We make good money, and none of us can see it. Our cost of living in America is not only high, it's sinfully and treacherously outlandish. Right? Nobody can afford to live. Nobody can afford anything. Nobody can afford to save. That means nobody can retire. They can't afford to retire. We can't afford to be sick, even though we're always sick. We can't afford anything. We make all this money, or we work around the clock, and we can't afford nothing. So my cost of living has been dramatically decreased, somewhere between 60 to 80%. Now, being a U.S. citizen, right, on the U.S. dollar, I'm currently in Thailand, but amongst other currencies, it changes, sometimes within a day, or sometimes, week to week. But my cost of living is dramatic. It's myself, my wife, and my 2 kids. I'm currently in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath villa in Thailand. I still have everything, and more, but my overhead, my housing, utilities is dramatically less. Dramatically less. I pay a sub amount of $800 per month for occupancy, utilities. We have people come and clean and do the garden outside. High-speed internet. It works immaculately. So for $800, guys, I'm in a newly built area. I can walk to convenience stores. I can walk to go get a massage. I can walk up a mile if I wanted to get a haircut, in which my haircut costs $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So cost of living, it's just, we work to live. We should be working to live, but it's opposite. We're living to work in America, and I'm tired of doing that. I was slaving to still see the same amount in my account, if not less, than what I have now. And I make dramatically less because I spend dramatically less, even though my quality of life has increased. So that's just one, The second thing is, health and security. I'm way more active. I'm way more intentional with my activity. I'm way more conscious on what I put in my body. One, the food here and the quality of food is 1,000 times better. I can't live in a place where I know 90% of things are fake anymore. I've done it too long. I can't keep doing it. And I'm in my 30s, and health has to become serious, it has become a priority. So I can't keep living in an environment where what I'm eating is either fake or not good for me. It doesn't make sense. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I haven't been sick in months since I've been out here. I haven't been sick. Just no head cold, none of that. You know, my daughter goes to school. She's not getting as sick as she was. My son is not getting as sick as he is. I'm around hundreds of people. My wife and I are hopping in and out of ride shares daily. Not getting sick. You know, so we can walk places. The topography is made for where we can walk places. You know, the convenience is there. We drive when we need to. You know, we can get back into the gym. Like, we can control our schedule a little bit more. So that means we can focus on our health and wellness. And then a part of that, like I mentioned, is security. Like, I feel safe. I am black, right? So I wanted to be an environment to where not only do I feel safe, but my daughter feels safe, right? My wife feels safe. You know, my son, like 2 young kids, and a partner. Like, you know, we need to feel secure, you know. And being a citizen, guys, in a place where we are born, right? We don't feel secure. I'm getting shot at. I, as in my people, I, as in people who look like me, who represent me, because America puts us all in a box, right? We're all together, right? We're all together by skin tone, right? We're all together by discrimination and prejudice. And, you know, people are willing to serve. It's just different out here. It's different. You know, I can't tell you enough how much different I feel being out and about in these streets, like, compared to being in a place where I bought a home or homes, where I work and I contribute to the economy, I pay taxes, you know, like, I was born here, my social security number is attached to this country, and at any given time I could be gunned down. And 99% of the reason why I'm gunned down is because someone else had a bad day, and it makes sense to target me. That doesn't make sense anymore. I can't. Why would you live that way? I'm not gonna keep living that way. So that's number 2: health, wellness, security. I kind of bunched that all together, you know, because my mind can be at ease. I could not have my head on a swivel, right? I know everybody who is carrying, you know, a firearm or about to carry a firearm, because the anxiety of, you know, feeling the need to be safe or protecting yourself is all over that world. And it is not like that here in this environment that we're trying to establish for ourselves. Although I'm not a citizen, I don't feel that way. It's a wild thing. People who experience that will know what I'm saying. And number 3, I try to bunch this all together to not make this all convoluted. Number 3 for me is just time, flexibility. I just have more time. I have more time to talk to y'all. I have more time to talk about how I have more time to talk to y'all about how I have more time to talk to y'all. You know, I have more time to just live, to breathe, to think, to see, hear, smell, taste, walk, touch. Like, I have more time to be human. You know, like, I could go pay my bills with my 1 out of 5 checks I get. I pay my bills. My overhead is paid with 1 out of 5 checks. My overhead is at 18 to 20% of my income, where before my overhead was at about 45 to 55% of my income. Overhead. So that means I could breathe easy. That means it's not that stress level. I do the least amount of work I need to do to cover my basics. You know, every day it it just almost feels like I have power. Just not having to get up to drive and think about work 24/7. Guys, I was working 12 to 13 to 15 hours a day in the last 2 to 3 years. A day. I almost worked that in a week. So I have more time. I have more time. I don't care. Time goes by fast. I can remember everything I was doing 10 years ago when I was 21. So when I'm 41, I don't want to be like, man, I'm still doing the same thing. I can't move that way. And so that time is important for me. Time is way more value. I have way more value in time than what money can provide me. You know, money is a construct. I use it where necessary. I use it to my advantage. I'm able to pay my bills. I'm able to save towards future post work. And I have more time to create, time to think, time to maneuver, time to relax and just let life kind of happen. Live in the moment time. You know, time is trademarked for me. It is serious. So, you know, I don't want to necessarily put any of these in a certain order. I think they're all, they all work hand in hand. But those are the top three reasons, guys. It's cost of living, it's health, wellness, security. If you want to pair that together, and it's just time and flexibility. Just I can create my own schedule. Like I just, not many people can say that, and it's just changing your environment, changing our environment allowed us to do that. And so, no, I'm sorry, I will never go back to the States. And I'm saying this, right? I'm saying this on this platform because I get asked that a lot. A lot of people will come to me or come to me and my wife and be like, how long are you guys staying out here? Or how long is your vacation? Or are you on holiday? And I'm like, guys, we moved out here. We're not going to stay in Thailand forever, but this is one of the places where we're setting up shop. The world is our oyster. I have a job where I can work anywhere in the world. So the world is our oyster. I can make income online. So I'm checking out my options. And right now, Thailand makes sense. Right now, this is where we're stationed. And it's checking off a lot of buckets to where I can just feel human. I can just feel just easy. If you guys are looking at this video and you're in America, can you ask yourself, anybody you know, and be like, can you just how you were tense, like, can you just let down your shoulders and like breathe? People gotta be high, they gotta be drunk, they gotta be, taking something with more, with more strength, like people gotta be always going to the club, people always gotta be buying materialistic things just to mask the stress, just this doom spending, right? This doom living, like people are wilding out and bugging in the States. And it's twofold. It's, yes, we are an impulsive culture. Yes, we live above our means. Yes, we don't have great money management skills. But to the people's defense, well, we don't have that education. Our government is not ran like a caring, providing government. It doesn't represent the citizens. And so it definitely doesn't represent the black or minority citizens. Where I fall under, I don't care. It doesn't matter if I'm middle class. There's a snub, there's a snarl that I will always have as long as I stay. There will always be a target on my back, emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, and of course financially. There's going to be a target. I'm going to be devalued. And so I'm looking at all this and I'm like, how can I raise kids in this environment? Right? It doesn't make sense. We're not going to world school them. I could show them different topographies, different cultures, different environments, and they could be around different people around the world where everybody has an open mind. It don't make sense. So I know I've offended people a couple times, talking like this, right? They leave comments. I'm glad you left. Like I'm glad, close the door behind you or whatever. You're not safe anywhere. There's people, negative people saying negative stuff. But at the end of the day, it's my life. I don't care. It makes sense for me. So those are my three top reasons. I don't make this too long. If this is your first time seeing Black, hit the sub button, leave a like. If you care, if you want to support, just hit a like and comment. Comment if you're feeling tight, or comment if you've done this move like I did, or comment if you want to do this move. Like, can you guys look around and be like, man, I'm tired of this. What can I do? Like, are you guys tired? I ask my wife this all the time. Like, are people tired of doing the same thing? We're literally being killed. It's not like we're tired of living okay. Like, we're struggling. We're trying to get by. We are just hanging by a thread, right? A lot of people are turning suicidal. A lot of people are just turning homicidal. Like, there's just this animalistic and primitive kind of nature coming out of us because we don't know what to do. We're spiraling. And so I didn't want to get into that. I'm not trying to play that type of game. I already got to deal with this. I already got to deal with this. Like, I already got to deal with the system and powers that be that can never change no matter where you're at in the world. So let's just play different games. Let's just try to change the narrative a little bit, change the formula a little bit. So people who will ask me now, people who ask me in the past, people who will ask me in the future, no, I will never go back. It is a toxic, volatile environment for me and mine, and I want to live good. I want to live as free as I can, as unattached as I can, as unplugged as I can, and just chill. I want to just chill, bro. That's it. Like, just relax and make life as easy as it can be. Because we're just working too hard. We're working in circles. We're doing this. The smartest people, the people who bust their ass, like, we're just all doing this. So that's all I gotta say. I'm never going back. I'm checking out the world. I'm looking to just meet beautiful people who want to live. That's it. We just want to live. Life is short. It can be cut tomorrow, so let's live. Let's keep maneuvering, stay in our gray stay balanced. And let me know in the comments if y'all don't live. Type live for me, L-I-V-E, live. But if we do live backwards, it is evil. Think on that.